feed the family, they need attention. Eat the children to feed intention. Everyone's invited, so bring a friendship. Everyone's invited, bring the butter knife intention. Born in a power plant, raised by the hour hand. Today I pound my hands to taking a salty grain of sand. And once I learned I was a domesticated package, ravaged by bargain hunters and their commitment to commodities blunders. That's when it finally dawned on me that I was something to somebody, but nothing better than property. Properly priced to gain instant celebrity. But honestly, all I wanted out of life was a life autonomy. It kept dangling dollar bills off fishing poles or driving a family sedan. Cooked in bloody acrylic illustrations till I got hooked, but lucky thrown back to that cracked aquarium I so naturally referred to as a debilitated concentration camp disguised in a nursing home sense of fashion. I'd fasten my helmet if I were you, cause sooner or later they're coming to conquer you. They've been monitoring your moves, so at least make a promise you're honoring the truth.
The heat makes me breathe less. It's time to bleed dreams till the scenes seem refreshed. And I no longer feel the need to be what you think is best. Don't worry, you will die unimpressed. Born ahead of my time, I never relied on a promise. With development of the mind comes instinct, conscience. I think things will be better when I travel further, but for now I shall go through the mud and touch what turns your curiosity around your fear and honesty. But now you see it's not so bad. Suffocate your frown. Mistakes might crowd the excitement you found. Somebody's gotta kill the clown before the laughter's able to drown. The table is round, so the square thoughts that I bring to it contrast. I'm last when it comes to giving, and I'm living with the vision of a prison that you sit in. My decision isn't it fulfilling, watching time ride away slowly. But I guess it's how you view it. But I guess it's the influence that's rooted in the uselessness. Clip your wings if you wanna know the truth. Just clip your wings if you wanna know the true us.
When I was born, I rode a rainbow over the swamps of Jupiter, conquered Lucifer and punched a hole in the lawless universe. It was as dark as can be, but with the faith of a star I took a giant quantum leap and erased the mark of the beast. The fangs, the flaws I took out didn't phase my force field, so I pull the eyelids over the head and blink until my eyes peel. I deal with an ideal of silence and self-medications to resist distractions, cause attractions lead to all attachments. And I'm going through withdrawal. I made my way to a cave. Maybe I made a mistake, cause company never came close to reflecting their morphing identity process. Dissected orange form, swarm the sunset that sinks beyond the endless horizon. I fade, I made a sacrifice. I'm hollowed out, empty in an afterlife where I exist in a hole in the cell of a head of a god. But there's nothing to sell now, cause all I found is a book that I can't read, because the storyteller is hooked to the thread we've weaved into a net. This light has a life of its own. What a sweet infected mystery, completely meant to meet the needs of shadowed corners. And indeed it's starting to get to me. I'm sort of tipping more to one side, it's getting windy outside, and I know it's because the inside is dizzy, and I'm spinning around, tripping over my expectations and hitting the ground. Pitiful attempts to prevent this pretty dream from leaving the egg before the hatch. I seem to be bleeding back into the sleepy being through a translucent vein that runs deeper than the roots of meaning. Soaked in laughing gas, half awake, that's how you find me, putting on my happy face, asking God, why are you crying? Why are you crying? Why are you crying? Doesn't make sense.
I was born inside an open letter to be read, and the message says I'm not dead, alive and breathing, kicking, bleeding within. So if you cut my skin, you will get a slice of heaven. Show and tell, hovering now close to you, and notice who I am, one man's wrong. Standing outside in a rainstorm, letting the water drain down to feed my veins. Now I'm not thirsty anymore. Please world, don't hurt me anymore. In a deserted field of dreams, it seems to be split at the seams and break, where I manage to make more take what I need to start. First footsteps, then finish, led to the gutter, away from mother. So pray for son, me, away from home. Thunder rolls, lightning might strike twice, never known. I am now seen. Who is he? Reflection crooked and glass shattered and mirror broken, hoping I can awaken out of this place that I lay in, awaiting for what? Nothing.
Open up your brain, show me your sanity, and I will show you a man that's simply afraid to be. I sift through the vacancy. All the time that it's taken me would have been better spent waiting patiently. Run away, run away, run away from your foolish attempt. Now who's in suspense? Now who is the next to step to the reflection? Stripped down, naked, bare, no protection. Lessons learned are Better than trivial horseplay, son. What are you afraid of?
I stand alone, I'm third rock from the sun. In silence I come, I hear echoes, a reflection of some noise. Beastly voice bursts, whispers awake in the night. A ghostly presence gives fright. Fast lane, freight train, ignites spark, brings light to dark and heart stops slow. Attack brings death, corrosive chemicals, explosive, eroded. No hope, less hopeless and loneliness.
I've grown in depth to mess with the introverted half of what's left of me. Let me politely ask you a question without stepping on your blessed trajectory. I'm less than 3 seconds away from meeting enough energy to better us both due to the fact we're already empty enough to hide in each other's smudges. Former underestimation, overreaction is magnet, plus and minus beats are in for fix what's broken. Attract creatures, levers, buttons, force fed mortal, bars through barcode, barn towards courtroom trial, blurry smile, regretted guilty hormones. In a mellow stance, I stop and bow to the man in front of me. Uglier than Sweeny smiles, catching my attention off guard as if I were out of my shell on solid ground. But every now and then one can step down from himself and his fix and triple over king. Divine company, intention, broken fences, picket.
Divine company, intention, broken pickets, fences.
Divine company, broken picket fences.
Needy, Ebola, bleeding, hug-hungry victims at a kindergarten reading level, asking death to fix them with a veterinarian's touch. Alien Aryans must have invented zombie, omnidirectional, Tommy gun confessional fucks. Mommy's son done did really good, but she still doesn't approve of the use of his morning wood. He ever get approval of the proper reinforcement of guilt built on Hallmark cars and countless candles?
What are you afraid of? Tell me what you're afraid of. Is it made up?
What are you afraid of? Tell me what you're afraid of. Is it real or is it made up?
So what am I afraid of? What am I afraid of? Is it you or am I afraid of?
Tell me what I'm made of. Is it real or is it made up? Tell me what I'm made of. Is it real or is it made up?
I auditioned for addiction and his friends. The only trick is that I tend to stick to fiber spider webs. How close can I get to interpreting my feelings the same way that I feel them when they're wrapped in foreign brainwaves? You've never wasted life if you're honest enough to question whether or not you have wasted it. So I'll make a difference so you and I can have something to compare ourselves with. Heretic talk, patience, clockwork, carelessness.
Lost a life, lost a job, lost a girl, lost a sight, lost in flight. Downward spiral, lost in space. Between my skull fracture off and misplaced off in this place. Bring awful pain, nonsense, numbness. One breath lost. I gotta get out of this and escape before I fall asleep with the real paralyzed spine. I can't stand up, unfair, wheelchair, real fear, afraid to go outside.
Try to look away, know that I couldn't say what I really felt, cause what I really felt would make you grab about and hang your self-esteem by the seam of its dreams. Though it seems unbelievable, listen to the screams, they're more than quite achievable. They could be yours and nobody else's. It could be yours, the war that you fought within yourself, kid.
I'm selfish when it comes to breathing hazardous, and I might not wake up after this next gasp of laughter's kiss. I'm still waiting for that perfect little accident to rip my ligaments into individual increments. Any suggestions? Thanks for nothing, you good for nothing scumbag. Any suggestions? Thanks for nothing, you good for nothing scumbags.
What are you afraid of? Tell me what you're afraid of. Is it made up?
What are you afraid of? Tell me what you're afraid of. Is it real or is it made up?
So what am I afraid of? What am I afraid of? Is it you or am I afraid of?
Tell me what I'm made of. Is it real or is it made up? Tell me what I'm made of. Is it real or is it made up?
I got a mile's worth of adrenaline ready to flow.
It's no surprise that you tried to rely on your own.
I'm gonna climb till I die, man, leave me alone. Eyes on bug with a pint-sized shrug, so infectious you'd have to be a rock not to fall in love. Plug into a bubble of dependencies, boiling blood, so I can feel the flood. Not aiming to be famous, I'd rather walk aimless. You can call me content, or just another brain whisked away from conventional chest doesn't equal mammal. It's just a rite of passage. Control channels from the couch all the way down to corporate headquarters. Borders, cross contracts, breached orders. Reached the wrong plate and missed the boss man is late. But I'm not concerned with these primitive vermin. I'd rather spend my time earning a good death and learning you the true value of $1 is nothing more than burning it.
I will never let go of the end of the road. I got a mile's worth of adrenaline ready to flow. It's no surprise that you're trying to rely on your own.
I'm gonna climb till I die, man, leave me alone.
So where does the line draw me in? Connect the dots on my skin. Use this abusive feeling of being useless. You sit and stare and wonder why I'm here like I don't compare in your eyes. And that's unfair. You don't give a second chance. You won't even if you can hear. You play death. And if I was in your situation, I'd be all ears. But that's the difference in personality between you and me. You might think I'll stop, but I will never till I get to the top. There will be no measure between what I want and what I got, and that really ain't a lot. So while you sit there and watch, I just don't talk. I do what I say and don't stay on the sidewalk. Off beaten path, lost in the last act, covered in ash. Don't ask no questions, just don't ask. Just let me climb to my destination. The rope's burning my hands and I can't stand it, but damn it, I'll make it. Even if I'm broken in the end, they'll know I existed when I'm dead.
Word, dude. Did you like that?
Yeah.
I thought that was dope.
Let me hear it.
I will never let go of the end of the road. I got a mile's worth of adrenaline ready to flow.
It's no surprise that you're trying to rely on your own.
I'm gonna climb till I die, man, leave me alone.
I will never let go of the end of the road. I got a mile's worth of adrenaline ready to flow.
It's no surprise that you're trying to rely on your own.
I'm gonna climb till I die, man, leave me alone.
It's time to decide what we should be. This is life's routine surgery. Doesn't matter what you've seen, rather matters what you haven't. Bet you can't imagine all the tragedy. It's sad to see that we're desensitized. Focus on the fact that my pale blue eyes seek no surprise. So save it for the simple minds. Minimal individuals living an outline of life. And how could I try to not give up more than I do now? Let the truth out. Time is constant, it's never gonna die. Walk into this world with your head up high, let's try.
I know you like I know myself, but we have never met. And you've always been the best at telling me this who I am. But if you miss me while you're with me, then I'm not who I should be. How I feel means a lot more than you think. See, I've been given a box to lay in, I've been given a thought to slay, I've been given some figures to pray with, and I've been given a heart to break. And apart from the mark I make, I'm nothing but a stain already made by the foggy smoke screen that I breathe. The bugs don't judge bruise fruit by the peel. They suck the blood from the young, make love and reproduce. And you're sleeping with your mouth open. Check rules. You're sleeping with your mouth open. Check rules. But what's mine is yours, so I'ma set sail until I find the shore. Until I explore what I'm fighting for, but I can't fight your war for forfeit, friend. Cause my spinal cord is tribal, sorta like the dinosaur remains. Backbone, waiting to go back home, straight from the black hole. Chain full of head full of idling efforts, I'm mining for treasure. I will never let go of the end of the road. I got a mile's worth of adrenaline ready to flow.
It's no surprise that you're trying to rely on your own.
I'm gonna climb till I die, man, leave me alone.
I will never let go of the end of the road. I got a mile's worth of adrenaline ready to flow.
It's no surprise that you're trying to rely on your own.
I'm gonna climb till I die, man, leave me alone.
Leave me alone, leave me alone. I will never let go of the end of the road. Just leave me alone, leave me alone. I'm gonna climb till I die, man, leave me alone.
Flower dies every second. A coward lies for affection. A flower dies every second. A coward lies for affection.
I'm sorry till you crave me. I'm slowly dissipating. Devour, then you save me. Why are you still complaining? I'm sorry till you crave me. I'm slowly dissipating. Devour, then you save me. Why are you still complaining?
Only because I love you do I ever feel the urge to fulfill my needs by bouncing my distorted face off force. And it'll be the day where I don't faint while painting walls inside this cave to maybe save the others from the colors that I saw emerge.
Emergency aid and a bed was needed. Hey, I know I'm dead but far from deleted. The stone reads, please read until a sudden rush of uncertainty collapses your being. Bring along stem rows, but make sure it's malnourished and flourishing with a thought that counts kind of attitude. That'll get you on my good side, which is a good thing, considering I'm God now, but not the biblical being. I'm something endowed with a sense of doubt, cause I wasn't born on a cloud.
And you must be proud, oh I'm sure you're proud, yeah I know you're proud. All ears, attention, eternally learning that urgency beckons. But certainly we could all question the text when it brushes past the mousetrap, avoiding collapse, destroying the craft.
Want you to take me, feel my heart breaking. Every time I hurt you I don't really mean to, it's just misplaced emotion. You've just faced. And I'm hoping your love doesn't turn to hate, and if it does, that's my mistake. I should've closed my mouth, you should've closed your eyes before I speak, cause the man inside makes me wanna hide from me. I crucified myself, you just weren't there to witness it. I had no intention, no one will benefit. I'm usually brutally honest when it's between this you and me, but most of the time this voice is screaming silence till nucleus bleeds.
The pressure will add, the time might wear thin, and the need to get your point across is apparently killing the purpose in the first place. I'm willing to be the lung that breathes and redirects your space.
Let me take your space away, please hand it to me. I'll give you back a glass filled with serenity. Till the end I will forever be your crutch. And remember friend, I don't leave those that I love covered in mud, surrounded by dust. Let me cleanse your body with just one touch. I must not leave yet, so trust I'll be here, and I will never turn my back, cause I do care, even though sometimes I act like I don't. But the fact is you seem so far, but I just wanna keep you close. And close, supposed to be close, so hopefully close.
Never truly felt close to most of humanity's inventions, especially them friends etched out of friendship by association. That's probably the reason for my faith in loner status. I've mastered that lavish fetish, mad aesthetic runs through every crevice of my decaying head edges. I await the medic's survival, idle for the right of survival, cause a flower dies every second, and a coward lies for affection. A flower dies every second, and a coward lies for affection.
I'm sorry till you crave me, I'm slowly dissipating. Devour, then you save me. Why are you still complaining? I'm sorry till you crave me, I'm slowly dissipating. Devour, then you save me. Why are you still complaining? 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 It's not that hard to blame me.
Flaky, dusty, shaky, blame me,
Blame me, blame me,
shaky, dusty,
flaky,
blame me,
blame me,
blame me, shady,
shaky,
dusty, flaky, blame me,
blame me, blame me,
shady,
flaky,
dusty,
shaky,
blame me,
blame me.
So you see, we live like angels here in a paradise. So you see, we live like angels here in a paradise.
She made it. She made it. Is something recording me? Maybe. Now for the time being, I am being who I should be. Could we go for
Anxious, anxiety, trying to be the man I'm trying to be. So nerve-wracked, my pulse is sweaty. Not quite sure what to say to this man, but he looks awfully lonesome and could really use a tan.
Don't be stupid, don't be dumb, don't be an idiot twiddling the thumb. Say something to him, man, say something to him, you're a savior, remember?
But I don't have anything interesting to offer, let alone something award-winning. I feel the door thinning. I'm just dying to tell this man my best-selling biography. But I, your friend, die with my confidence and self-propriety. A variety of voices keep repeating choices, and at the end of the day, I'm still voiceless.
Wait, those boots cannot withstand the water you walk on. Sir, so unknown the man, but setting yourself up like someone like me to meet you and lead you to the same alleyway. Suit yourself if you wish, but according to the map in the back of every sewer cap in the city, there's something behind these little itty-bitty buildings that we are enslaved to the schedules. If you ever thought about the fact that you are similar to the strands of a stem cell that's intact, potential is under pressure, empty, sketchy, running, sweating, petting, threshold weight. The antennas have been installed, and yet ever since the evidence dissolved, I haven't been able to make sense of the hyperactivity through ancient methods of loitering, exploring something foreign to me without acting willingly. It's all just a recording, and my eyes are not seeing behind the walls we stand.
First eye contact and skin slap flesh from the cracks of the hand will go together as providing useful information to extend one fellowship. Hello, this is not just an ordinary occurrence. I feel it's meant to be that we exchange words, and maybe we can help change each other's world someday. Or maybe not, and I'll be on my way until tomorrow with no remembrance of yesterday. And the sentence or two we exchanged, and it was strange for a minute. The conversation, it began and finished. Within moments I moved on with my morning. I woke up to cold palms past, I'm reading, sweat drenched fingertip, first time meeting under the ceiling.
Just fine, I'm doing better than one would think, given the circumstance. And at first glance, you wouldn't be able to sink to the mind state. But I'm late for the masquerade full of these primates. And regardless of the time, there's really no time to wait, for I'm faced with a decision for the precision. You know, the routine mission of living. Who reads the scriptures given? My instincts driven. Gotta catch the blue ribbon. How you living?
talk to strangers. Please don't speak to strangers. They're stranger than you think, and I think you think they're friendly, which is true and all, but it's pretend. See, they're only pleasant when they want something from you. They're only pleasant when they want something from you. They're only pleasant when they want something from you. They're only pleasant when they want
Cheery, forceful, social, dashing, careful, mortal, warming, stormy, animation, fearing. You're just a stranger to me. 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 I've never been able to come down from this, but after all is said and done, I'm still unnoticed. I've never been able to come down from this, but after all is said and done, I'm still unnoticed. I've never been able to come down from this, and after all is said and done, I'm still unnoticed. I've never been able to come down from this, and after all is said and done, I'm still unnoticed. Who am I? What have I become? Just another person occupying space. Is it worth a second to take in this consecutive phrase on a pedestal placed for human consumption? But my mouth has no taste, and the feeling's numb. I keep my body on earth so I don't get burned by the sun. And if I've learned just one lesson in life, it's never lose sight of the direction that's right. Cause one day you're on top, destined to be, and the next you're a lost memory in the closet full of dust, with a fist full of pipe dreams crushed. And it might seem tough, keep a level head up.
The only man I'm afraid of is that God that I don't believe in. So believe me when I look into your lovely little preconceived piece of childhood's dying, naive, fighting to breathe in need of folklore, and tell you everything you never even hoped for. You're a disgusting excuse and never trying, glorifying dying your way through the checks on the calendar. Just cause someone told you that your talent was amateur, I could never be what you wanted to be, especially cause you couldn't even admit what you wanted to be. I guess it's why you raised me to be another clock punching patient. I'm trying to talk to you, but you and I both know there's no social security in between conversations, especially the ones including myself and Satan.
I've never been able to come down from this, but after all is said and done, I'm still unnoticed. I've never been able to come down from this, but after all is said and done, I'm still unnoticed. I've never been able to come down from this, and after all is said and done, I'm still unnoticed. I've never been able to come down from this, and after all is said and done, I'm still unnoticed.
I have never been aware that every decision I make in the waking state is compared and given a label and taken a name, and it makes me feel so little and plain. But as sick as it seems in the middle, it's bigger than big.
Look at you, look at me, look at what we have won. Shouldn't a few of us take a chance and run? I struggled with youth, but it taught me how to love, and that's my fault, cause now my heart can never turn numb. And now that I learn from what I don't understand more than the standard that is forced or what you stand for, I'd rather gather up all that is given, take it in for an exhibit, test its limits, and then dictate which way I should take. There's really only one path to which I can escape. The feeling of enough lasts way beyond the face, worth face first into a better way of life. Oh, wouldn't that be nice and simple? Oh, it could all be simple.
Wouldn't that be nice and simple? Wouldn't that be simple? I'ma leave this one up to me. Why do I look up to you? Probably cause I've been misled, but no one ever knows the truth. And even if they claim they do, I will never listen to the myth that rolls off the slit tongue that hits the roof. I'm giving you my power, and I promise never to lose touch with the tooth that hits gum, which makes both of us feel useless. Cause even if my wrists are glued to the prison cell windowsill, I'll still come down to visit you once in a black and bruised moon. Cause sooner or later the bottom will hit the top, and the top will convince the bottom that climbing has got to stop. And I'm not ever gonna give up, and I'm not ever gonna give in to the crown. I'm above the ground I crawl on, and never look down on someone else again.
I've never been able to come down from this, and after all is said and done, I'm still unnoticed. I've never been able to come down from this, and after all is said and done, I'm still unnoticed. Never been able to come down from this, but after all is said and done, I'm still unnoticed. I've never been able to come down from this, but after all is said and done, I'm still unnoticed.
I've always thought I've known me only, not so sure lately.
Predicting conditions I've already witnessed, and I'm trying to divide the time.
I never will remember how to forget this. I never will remember how to forget this. I never will remember how to forget this.
And I'm trying to survive my mind.
Magical glow, flipping channels, dripping mammal adrenaline. I've never been manhandled, severely branded and tampered with. Is it the catalyst, happiness, it is the attention span of the analyst opens up passages into the interconnected web of maps that gives us directions. Since the animalistic chance of relatives only imitate the twisted perspectives of ancestral angels seeking meaning wrapped in acts of potential that's hold my hand. I'm seeing everything opposite of myself in the concept that has grown since the time I came out or went in. Tell it again and put an end to this. What's real again? Begin, cast a lure, catch a glimpse of the future through the nucleus lens of meaning. Keep me company, completely transcending realms. See, the totality of abnormal capacities is only accurate through the methods of acupuncture that allows the human within to fuse with this infinite spectrum of unsettled hallucinogens. I pray for stable, got no stuck inside the top roof here. It's never been this clear before, but for some odd reason I've got beyond the initial fuzz. Tolerance builds on soft, solid grounds. I've asked and somehow I still stand insecure, allowing this to happen to me. Stay tuned now.
I woke up on the wrong side of the floor this morning, and God, I gotta say, my neighbor's ceiling's awfully comforting. The hospitality was gracious and well spun, but I could tell it really burnt out my welcome. I think I must have said something I shouldn't have said, cause they responded like I said it more than once. Maybe sign language could have explained it a bit more tastefully, or maybe my fragrance could have contained itself to help replace the fee. Building off my annual animal infrastructure, killing every compatible granule left to touch her, him, and that ugly kid that loves to suffer and suffer for the simple fact he still wants to have his mother's aborted baby ordered safely to their dumpster, outnumbered by a chemically imbalanced beam and a plunger. I wonder what it's like to live out the same life every single day of your life. I wonder what it's like.
I've always thought I've known me only, not so sure lately.
Predicting conditions I've already witnessed, and I'm trying to divide the time.
I never will remember how to forget this. I never will remember how to forget this. I never will remember how to forget this.
And I'm trying to survive my mind.
Never remember when I wake from this, feeling like I've been in this situation before, and it is interesting how the brain works. I hardly understand it. I can predict the time of the place I stand before I landed. First flight, first strike, it might be overwhelming at times. The inner mind's eye, pupil sight, people like you might not comprehend the structure of the day. You're playing my commitment to life. I'd say first occurrence was amazing, second coincidence I felt, third fearful for what was going on, seeing things I know would happen later gone, then looking back on how I reacted, interacted simultaneously with pictures projected and quotation around picture, because actually that's what's going on right now. Real life, instant shown, twice the vision known.
I swear I've been there before. Don't like what I heard, saw, sensed, felt tense, hopped the
self-defense, tried to run away from myself, lying if I thought physical was iller than the mental health. It used to be fun falling into memory traps, but now when I look back, I no longer start to laugh. Bringing the past to present has its ups and its downsides. Now I know my mind has the power to provide another way out, but I'm way out of my league. Please come and save me from the degrees of agony. Life unleashes sequences that have no explanation. Therefore, how can I determine whether or not I know I'm certain? It is hurting me to say I don't remember my yesterdays, but until they're walking towards me, what perspective should I take? Until they're walking toward me, what perspective should I take? I've always thought I've known me only, not so sure lately.
Predicting conditions I've already witnessed, and I'm trying to divide the time.
I never will remember how to forget this. I never will remember how to forget this. I never will remember how to forget this.
And I'm trying to survive my mind. Make my mind in the shape of a heart. Make my mind in the shape of a heart. Make my mind in the shape of a heart.
It's gonna take something sharp to tear this apart.
It's gonna take something sharp to tear this apart.
Needle tips pierce skin when the involvement of misunderstood direction occurs. I'm effective with words, extended and merged with service, worthy of being heard in a creation to pull the curtain wide open. So step inside the moment and find what you're holding is my emotion, a mind that's severely potent.
Freedom over taste of tongue, that's what I am waiting for. The day to come where the cravings I trust abandon the naked self that I have blindly painted on. There's a giant hole in my head, and again I've come up for air because I never known anything better in regards to caring for what's broken beyond repair. But I'm moving on as to who I think I am, not for who you wish I was, cause beauty's in the eye if you holds its breath for long enough to stop and think. For what?
Purebreed, ugly, crossbreed, judge me. Make my mind in the shape of a heart. Purebreed, ugly, crossbreed, judge me. Make my mind in the shape of a heart. Purebreed, ugly, crossbreed, judge me. Make my mind in the shape of a heart.
It's gonna take something sharp to tear this apart.
It's gonna take something sharp to tear this apart.
Leave it up to me to be the one who's always overran.
It's only when I let it go that I can feel believe it too much.
See the shit impediments, no better than my head. Is it better than, much better than?
Then again, better than nothing. Too much weight in an insignificant place. Isn't it great? Visit the hate and escape. That's where you wanna go, isn't
yes,
it?
now I'm here to stay away from here. I can't blame my fears anymore. I checked my feelings at the door and jumped off the top of a thought that I cannot ignore.
And I got a lot of feelings in store, but I'm kneeling on the floor, concealing what was born, or I'm concealing all my feelings on the floor, or really what is this for? From the ceiling to the boards and the cracks in the stone that were etched in like genetic codes, set in stone and left alone. Now you know that I know.
Prone to clone when I can't condone. Oh, mother thought I'ma make it to the throne. Castle and crown in hand. Banned by the damn, but glorify myself as scabs.
Purebreed, crossbreed,
Make my mind in the shape of a heart.
purebreed, crossbreed,
Make my mind in the shape of a heart.
purebreed, crossbreed.
Make my mind in the shape of a heart.
It's gonna take something sharp to tear this apart.
It's gonna take something sharp to tear this apart.
This is the part where you really start to catch on now. Mentally stripped down, bent with the intentions of purity. Mind pretentiousness, let it bleed thoroughly, certainly. You can benefit, and you can be the one that finally own up and admit that the only way you'll get your point across is aggression. So I'll stay away from complicated questions. I'm responsive, I'm receptive. Try to reach my polished weapon. Quick on the draw, break the seconds, less it seems the more it's mentioned.
If I could benefit elsewhere, don't you think I would have done it? If I could take another plummet, past the patch of my past what ifs, don't you think I would have cried wolf? Till they cried from my head on a wall, till they finally understood I wasn't fabricating at all. It was just a trick question, made to make you second guess them. It wasn't intended to get me burned on a cross. I just wanted you to benefit from something other than the cost. Make my mind in the shape of a heart. Make my mind in the shape of a heart. Make my mind in the shape of a heart.
It's gonna take something sharp to tear this apart.
It's gonna take something sharp to tear this apart. Will my actions even count in this civil war against itself? I'm bound to go without. After sitting on top of the world for long enough, I finally felt the pull and soaked the space that still surrounds me dumb, ready to thaw out.
Tongue-tied at the tip of a flagpole, sponsored by a subdivision of stargazing faithful, homogenized down to its simplest products, plugged and prodded for a 10% profit.
If you're happy and you know it, and you're satisfied with your life, instead of clapping your hands, run to the drawer and grab a knife. Cause tonight, everything you thought you were accustomed to plays a deadly game of switcheroo that your suspicion brew.
Now, listen, doom grows fear like flowers in the sky of who may think it's closing near. They see what we're doing now and may just think it's a mirage, but lately I feel I'm being watched.
Walk with me, be aware of the parallel side of life now. I believe I'm never alone until I die, but still I try to maintain a certain demeanor, cause I know what lies ahead of me is not a routine procedure.
I'm a crop-dusted dot outlining a chalkboard screech. I wish I was immune to those radiation leaks, then I could better prepare for this upcoming week, filled with nuclear brainwash seeping in my speech.
I try to reach outside my insecurities, and all I see is my paranoid personality shown. Am I losing touch with reality, or am I at home alone? Don't really care.
So if you choose to chew on this perceptible glue, I'll meet the deadline. Gather every angle in the room, infuse the transcend lights. Play with fire when you're tired, get inspired. Cut the wires, spin the tires, burn the rubber, cut the corners, jump the light.
Did we ever think for a sloppy second that maybe we're not as advanced as we thought, and there's some other life form watching us deform? Be warned.
Who is out there? Is it God or the eye in the sky that Channel 5 News wrong way direction? Does television have a security camera inserted so they can see us while we're watching them? I don't know, I heard it could happen, like extraterrestrial beings dwelling in outer regions of the universe. I really don't believe it, that's why I'm packing my bags and now I'll be leaving. Between here and there, I don't know if they will see me. They try to carbon copy theft my identity. What's left? Just the sickness with no remedy.
Cut electrical circuits, alert the nervous. There's a magnetic maggot sucking on the surface, but he's come for more than nutrition, he wants entertainment. Then get a Jessica Simpson impersonator and aim it directly at its privates, so we can hibernate until pride decides to hyperventilate and die inside the cyanide on your dinner plate. Look what mom made, it's such a disgusting fate.
When the skies open up and the unknown touches down, you'll be oblivious to it, trapped in the runaround. Adapt to the fact that omnipotence does not exist amongst humans. Who are you to think you really know what you're doing? Ruin will be left upon your doorstep, and I bet that you won't know what hits you yet. You'll just keep living life like you're at the top of an echelon. Stop, cause you're quick to think in the plot.
You're gonna have to pull my pin cushion out of the place it shouldn't have been. Now why have you made me a sponge now? Why have you contaminated liquid citizens get from the well? Now who put the poison in the well? I'ma track him, appeal time down and give him a talking time out now. Dude, I'm over even think of touching the zipper, trying to cut the boxing just cause I woke up and thought to switch positions. You don't exist, villain, until I tell you that you can. Desensitizing the intelligence of my little precious exoskeleton. Now I'm sick to assumptions, kicking, punching, making sense of the dust and wind, altering perspective and washing the fog off my glossy lens.
Did we ever think for a sloppy second that maybe we're not as advanced as we thought, and there's some other life form watching us deform? Be warned. It's like 2 bars and you're trying to do it all.
Don't do the last one as hard, because then he's gonna come in on it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like...
Into the center of placenta when I'm numb. Some dumb, someone invisible strangle the young.
When I think what's new on the menu, I tend to disorder the normal form. Will attire desire to keep me inspired.
Taking a little piece of myself with you to sleep. Dream free, believe possibilities will run deep.
Whether protected or neglected, I've been sent from the womb. I never ever would have imagined someone would come.
Reaction addict, attached to electric static. React, not systematic. In fact, my brain is tragic. If move on, instinct, act on. Non-present pressure, building up long beyond the towers. Man-made stain structure, I maintain somewhere beyond right there. Where there? Somewhere in between your ears and the air. Where there? Somewhere in between the ears and the air.
Where's the dolls around these coins? Sponsored by the Donald Goines Book Club. Someone of it I lonesome, just ruggedly handsome. Random bursts of crazy. Drake me plain food, so there must be some reason for even leaving me here. It must have been some kind of medical purpose. This earth is this sphere, weirder than discovered. In between the blubber and the shit invested till you sit inside. It's your plastic
Didn't have to be yes, you asked me to tell you about a catastrophe man-made that never felt regret. I failed to recollect right at the moment, cause the only thing on my mind is my mind, and how I know I can't control it. Only if there was a better channel to switch, so I could dismantle the tick that sits inside my soul and fixed I'm lonely with. You always on my mind, cause you are always on my mind, consuming the time.
Pull the current from my skin, cause the cord for more supply. Let me down right by your side, and you and I can still act like we're friends. Let's begin to pretend, to forget about the who, where, why in the when, and get this head out the clouds that I'm hollowed in. See, I'm howling in the wind. Headaches from innate invisible templates that have continued to endlessly bend me. I am full of my selfish envy, staring at a full moon through an empty glass. I can never remember my past, because the last memory I had, I was buried in the bottom of a crystal glass. Now cracked in half, now everything is intact. 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 I am seeking everything, you wish you were anything. I am seeking everything, you wish you were anything. I am seeking everything, you wish you were anything. I am seeking everything, you wish you were anything. I am seeking everything, you wish you were anything. I am seeking everything, you wish you were anything. I am seeking everything, you wish you were anything. I am seeking everything, you wish you were anything. Let me take from you what was never meant to be given. How many innocent victims will it take until you listen? Let me take from you what was never meant to be given. How many innocent victims will it take until you listen? Let me take from you what was never meant to be given. How many innocent victims will it take until you listen? Let me take from you what was never meant to be given. How many innocent victims will it take until you listen?
It's like a twisted Christmas anticipation when consideration faces obliteration stages, which will be deliciously displayed on today's pages. Viciously and vividly, it's giving me I'm taking. Walk away from me, don't hesitate or look back. It's better that way, because that way the lack of effort is justified as pride in standing your ground. Fed up with the runaround, and when I come down from the cloud where my head sits, it's going to be a day of discovery. You'll be loving it when my head's fixed. I dread this pretend friendship, it's endless. I'm trying to bend it back to its original format. In order for that to take effect, you must maintain a type of respect to brighten the threat of what could have been. So tell me that I can't win, tell me that it's not my time, and before you know it, the war will be over and I will be at the finish line.
Lost, sitting staring out the window in thought of wondering what brings you to plot. The hurting of another human being caught inside the tangled web you weave. So stop the aggression, stop the hurting of another to make you feel better. You hurt others and make them suffer, suffocating self-pity. In the body you hate, face facts, be a man, learn to love and take a stand. And I hope you can find help before more skin's torn. And maybe you were just born scorned with no family support, sat inside from before you grew older and started to hurt others. Why is the question I must ask. I find it hard to understand. You take laughter and shatter it like glass and add fuel to the fire with the closed fist hand slap. Man, that is bad damage and forever broken the home. Cracked ribs and beauty deformed, ice frozen 20 below. Zero tolerance for those who abuse the soul of a friend they call their own. But I really don't care anymore in the terrible storm. You're cold, but I wanna keep you warm.
Something to look forward to, something to look forward to, something to look forward to, something to look forward to. I mean, that's all we're trying to do is anticipate a moment of an experience that is attached to an emotion. But yet, the cold stinger was stuck, and the right blades have been cut. For the little mermaid who cannot swim in a bottle of bile and blood, and I am piling smiles up to the sky for you to climb and find a tiny piece of heaven and shove it directly in your eye. And sometimes she wishes she never met the world where survival of the fittest means you curl up in a ball. And I find it quite hard to fall asleep without a worry anymore, without wondering why this must go on. Cause after innocence was raped, of course she felt forced to sell herself, and the profit that was made was spent on how to harm herself. And so bliss gave birth to perversion, but made sure the child never questioned whether or not she could ever live without his hurt. So I stand here with an ever-present ear and a shoulder meant to soak your head drenched in human tears. Cause I feel that it's my duty to conceal and lick your wounds clean. So if you believe in miracles, then please use me.
I'm begging you, 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 please use me. Please use me. In most cases, most of us are 90% preservatives and 10% self-absorbed consumer scar tissue. 92% of you is the same as the rest of us. It's just another 8% that none of us can trust. Cause something poisoned that voice inside your headpiece, led you to believe you bleed just as good as dead in peace. Isn't that place you go when the needle says hello? It's that place you place inside the final wave goodbye to hope. I guess they don't abort them like they used to, and I gotta say it seems like you got used to getting used over and over. Then you became this malnourished version of whoever the hell you thought you were before whatever the hell happened to you just happened to happen. Are you some kind of fashion? Am I one of your biggest fans, idolizing every action? Cause for some reason, here in the land of the damn near free fast food menus, we put pieces of shit people like you on pedestals instead of cooking your ego-driven flesh until it's completely edible.
Let me take from you what was never meant to be given. How many innocent victims will it take until you listen? Let me take from you what was never meant to be given. How many innocent victims will it take until you listen? Let me take from you what was never meant to be given. How many innocent victims will it take until you listen? Let me take from you what was never meant to be given. How many innocent victims will it take until you listen?
Embedding the strings can bring a great deal of rethinking, but once they're installed, you wouldn't even need to think, let alone live for that matter. There's an automated set of hands pulling on every strand, so demand as much as robotically possible. It'll understand, I promise they're honest. Not to mention something God wish he thought of when he fooled Earth into thinking he adopted it. Accomplishment's a pathological lie, baptized by that belief, and at least you fucking tried. Compliance isn't required, but highly requested. They've invested in your senses, and all they ask of you is your pride.
It all comes down someday. No matter how it's built, eventually it breaks away. Nothing is made to last, not even the life you hold in your fragile hand. Hold on while you can, don't let go of what you have. Keep it till the end of this travel, when our flaws unravel together to make a more magnificent mistake. Expired in one tired self, a slave to the day of being hired help. Trying to stay awake at the wheel of life's dealings, so you can't see my true feeling. My skin peeling off the body where I'm leaking, relieving my inner insecurities. I surrender all my honesty and render quality. All of me, a picture painted to imperfection. My inner struggles teach lessons.
I don't smile, cause you're not. I don't play dead enough. Brush you off, turn me on. Blushing brains, mine to own. I don't smile, cause you're not. I don't play dead enough. Brush you off, turn me on. Blushing brains, mine to own. And what you call on fails, you're just another season blowing sun
sun, taking the wind out of my sails. Braille read your blind spot, now we see eye to eye. Cross roads, cross the line, put me on your cross and watch me die. Cast metal plate, finish before prayer and father rape. Prostate, long living, prosper before mom's awake. I'm a saint, you're a sinner, you're an angel, I'm a drinker. I don't wanna move, I don't want you to be a better kisser. I hate you just the way you are. Less freedom, more fanatic. Every sun is not a star. Let's be blood brothers, mayhem scarred. Find yourself and I'll find me and pretending I'm who you are.
Dead space can't cover up the underlying message that you feel inside yourself. Blame, isn't it a shame? Pain feels so much like me. Unlikely, yeah, I know, but I'm a frightening look at what could be. Timing is up crooked, so I'm hoping we can reach to the point where we strain and struggle and start to blame the puzzle for what we created in the haze of a subtle reaction. I'm not laughing, better yet I'm asking for the presence of some passion. I detach when you seem most interested, which is the reason that you're so distant.
A compliment is just another selfish way for me to say I hate your guts for making what I couldn't make. See, guilt can't be traded, only reproduced, and the only fair exchange is when no one is accused. See, I have to be the sun to cast judgment on the weeds. I have to be the light shining through the leaves on the trees. I'd have to be the stream to really see the reflection that I make out of belief, to put my needs in the direction. See, I love life, I just justify the side effects. I don't know what to do with myself lately. I wish the sky would eat me whole. So call me names and you can call me out, but just because you have a mouth doesn't mean you need to keep it close. I take it personal, I took a chance. I only have a journal, so when I die that I get respect. See, I only feel this way so I can write it down. Honest to God, I swear that the clutch of calm and withdrawal. I've been so caught up in what I'm making, wiping the dust at my ambition, that I almost forgot about the world that made me sicken. And the more I fool myself, the more this past seems safe. I'm an actor by nature, traveling in blank space, territory life. The life's a story, permitting me. The planet is flat and I am living on the edge of this fairyland, because there's a lot of things that I can do when I get lost. I don't need an audience to remind me that I'm flawed. Tomorrow's just a scar away, yesterday is gone, but it's okay. I got new paint and face and a makeup, and we'll fight and make up, and we'll fight and make laws, and we'll fight and break laws, and we'll fight and break us.
I don't smile, cause you're not. I don't play dead enough. Brush you off, turn me on. Blushing brain is mine to own. I don't smile, cause you're not. I don't play dead enough. Brush you off, turn me on. Blushing brain is mine to own.
Here, try it. Sherry's dad. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah. I'll just move over here. I'll just sit by Chris. Yeah. No, it'll be never pointing it towards the speaker. So.
Unmutables? Unmutables?
Hey, stand up there.
Yeah. Are you Dodge?
Sounds so amazing.
Yeah.
And then you.
Hello.
Yeah, so that's where it gets. So once it starts getting over there, it starts getting feedbacky. But I'll stay there if no one else wants to. I'm down to go wherever.
You can watch the claws grow. Know that it will kill if I hold you close. Development still not what you had hoped. So I would be constructing myself dug hole. The struggle between you and me won't slow. Huddle close to what you control. As fast as the blood of relaxation awakens you to sleep, I believe that you will be able to see this seas. Pray for mirage, stay in touch with facade. Face it, we're lost when chaos applauds.
Here's such good taste, tastes like broken glass. Touch your face, make no mistakes and hope it lasts. She loves her dead parts all of her head and some of her heart. The sum of all things is only something falling apart. You're such a show-off, you're such a touchy flame. Between feet and fuck, I fell in love with your pain. I make your secrets mine, I hear your deeper cut. I climb the highest mountain just to fall off and land in lust. I stay alive on fire, put out old flames, lower my standards and aim for higher. I can't bring myself to quiet for the choir. Every note sounds the same, either I'm insane or you're inspired. Dead to the livestock, I pray for the weak. Thou shalt not be happy till no one disturbs your sleep. You're such a better you without me. Such good taste. everything. Another cold breakfast, another headless robot targeted with dead fists, marching towards red lips. I bet he thinks he's so much better than me. I bet he thinks I wish I looked as disconnected as he. Well, I bet while he's banging that pampered maid, she's plotting his death and that all expenses paid vacation. With no intention of returning the favor, his paper cuts disrupt my very existence. That distance between the spare key and his spleen is closer than the stench of his overpriced cologne. This seat is so alone, I wanna take his home and disguise it as my own private throne, draped in thorns, festive like broken ornaments and angels rocking horns. I forgot to shade the left side of my face again, not to mention taking that makeshift medicine. Let it in, this whole room is magnetized at his perfect gentleman, but I see through the layers. He's nothing special, I'm special. Mom said so.
I understand you can't lead someone where you've never bled, but I've been tempted by the blood trail you left inside my head. I'm climbing uphill, it's both angles that I trust, cause the slaves have been drug around by the ankles in mud. So my favorite drug of choice is someone else's voice pounding at the walls inside my void, clouding up the story. The strongest form of innocence that I have ever felt is that near-death experience when I was someone else. See, the common conflict is that promises attract and collapse, opposites attack and transplants fall trapped. And if I were you, I wouldn't let me get away with this, but you made me the way I am. Blaming is contagious, it's my fault, and I'm not scared to admit it. No, it's your fault, have faith, place forgiveness. Wait, I'll still stay to listen in case both of us decide to poke out our broken eyes and finally find our tears taste the same. I love me, I love you, I just can't stand us, especially when we're both glued to the same pair of handcuffs.
Claustrophobic moments, still lost and hopeless, waiting to be found in a cluttered box of roaches. They crowd around my eyes, browse this town to find if I'm still tied down. Word traveled to nowhere in chains, stained. How do I get away from here? Fear of being seen, fear of not being heard, with my mouth sewn shut, waiting for my turn to get the staples torn out. So what? With my tongue and inner lips to watch me bleed. So what? I fear to you, these who sit next to my timeshare, and other kinds who probably don't care, compared to minds impaired, despair, a scarce flow. For a second silence broken, the mere appearance, but still I appear to be talking to myself. Are you still here, in or out?